This is Mike with New Bedford Guide. I'm here with Carlos and Craig. We're going to talk about Lindsey Manchester. So she's the 29-year-old mother who didn't return her 3 children, age 2 through 10, I think it's 2, 6, and 10, to the father on July 26th. So the police have been involved since then. So let's talk about this. So what do you guys know about why she took her kids?
I got a message back on July 26th that basically the child wasn't returned. They had questions about like the court order and an Amber Alert that wasn't issued. From my understanding is the mother didn't show up from a visit with her children. The father had custody of the children. That's pretty much, I don't know the exact reason what was she took them, but.
So that happened, to talk to the police, that happened on July 24th, and then July 26th you got a message.
Yes.
So how did you get involved with that?
A young lady by the name of Christy Rogers sent me a message, basically, and then which basically her boyfriend's name is Mark. Mark is the brother of Dwayne, which is the father. We were talking back and forth. I asked him for all the information, make sure it was legit before it got put out. The father actually ended up messaging me, and he sent me all the paperwork, showing me that he had custody of the child. The mother disappeared, was supposed to return it, did not return the child, and then found out they had the other 2 children as well. That's kind of how I got involved. And then I started, I run the Neighborhood Watch share page. We ended up posting it on there. We were the first media outlet to actually put it out to help get the children. It reached over 120,000 people. That's how we ended up getting involved. And then I was actually going out with Carlos. We were going, different scenes, taking photos for the watch page and for himself. And we decided, while we're out, we're doing this, we would go out and help find the child. We knew the child was unsafe, so we decided to go out and start looking for the child actively.
So how did you get involved, Carlos?
Well, I know Craig through the Neighborhood Watch share page, and often we go out and I cover a lot of the news that's happening in New Bedford, and he likes to also cover some of the news for his watch page, so he could share it with the public. So at the time we were going out actively together, and he started discussing the situation with the missing children, which I really didn't know much about at the time. And I decided that I would actively try to reach out to this woman and get her side of the story. I reached out to her. But meanwhile, me and Craig, we were actively out there. For lack of better words, we did some stakeouts, and we pursued some leads, and eventually she agreed to have an interview with me. But there's a few parts to this. Craig also tried to get the Amber Alert.
Yes, I did. I called the police station, spoke with them. I ended up putting in the information on Facebook on the day of. But yeah, we've been trying to get the Amber Alert out. Our understanding is it didn't meet the criteria, so that's why it didn't get put out. So we decided to kind of be the Amber Alert. We went out actively looking for the child to make sure that these children were safe. There was videos put out there that didn't look like the children were safe. We actively tried to get videos from her to actually make sure the children were safe. Our main concern was the children, not to be involved with whatever custody battle they were having. It was the concern for the 3 children.
Right, and what made me really get passionate about it and really get involved was once I did get that telephone interview with Lindsey, and some of the statements, the outlandish statements, her behavior, and some of the things that were said, and the fact that she seemed like she forced the child to speak about things over the phone. The child was in distress, I could tell. I said and did what I had to say to make her trust me, be comfortable with me, and she did agree, because I offered her food. I offered some money because I knew that she was on the run. So we arranged a meeting, and she agreed to meet with me. And at this point, I wanted to include the New Bedford police, but I was afraid what was going to happen is we were going to catch her and not the children. And then, there'd be risk of who knows where these children are they safe? So I met up with her, gave her a big bag of McDonald's with chicken nuggets, fries for the children that me and him split the cost. I gave her $20 cash, but she wanted a battery stick. And that's one of the reasons why I started getting a little more obsessed with the whole situation, because when someone's asking for a battery stick and they're on the run, that's making me think this woman's going into an abandoned building. She's either going to go into the woods and be homeless with these children. So I felt we had to act now. So I didn't give her the battery stick on purpose, and I told her, listen, I want a second interview with the children. I'll give you the battery stick and more money. So we left it at that. We left. Not a short time after that, she calls me back in distress, having issues with the man that she was staying with, and that she needed a way out. So I saw that. Basically, I offered her a way out, and I said, I told her the situation that would be ideal for her, whatever I had to say, and she agreed. Gave me the location. She was vague on the location, you know, but she gave me a roundabout location. Beep when you're outside. We got the children, and the children looked like they were unkept, right?
Yeah, they had a weird smell to them. The children didn't look like they were kept well at all. That's why we had to.
And she had a big bag with her. We put that in the trunk, and but before we went to the second meeting to pick her up, we had contacted the New Bedford
Detective Sylvia. Sylvia was the name.
Right, and you know, they arranged the meeting, and I gave them the guidelines of what I want to take place, and it worked out perfectly. We got the children in the car. We purposely picked the 2-door so they couldn't run out. Mm-hmm. We drove down the street. I looked at him and I said, listen, we need to get some gas. She did not want to stop. She was furious.
So let's start from the beginning. So where did you pick her up?
It was, you know where the bar is on Ptaszenski Street?
Yeah.
Right? Like,
no, MacArthur Drive.
Oh, MacArthur. It was MacArthur Drive.
Couple of houses down from the Mutual gas station, off of Ptaszenski Street. On the left, there is a little yellow house. It's on MacArthur Boulevard.
Yep, you picked her up in New Bedford, and then you were going to take her to a gas station. That's what you told me.
Basically, you know, but in her mind, she thought we were going to some abandoned building that I had located somewhere for her, and I was going to help her out and bring her there or whatever.
A new safe space.
Right. I said whatever I had to say to get her to bring the children out so the police could do their job. And I must say, the police that were there, the detectives or whatever authorities they did an excellent job. They didn't just rip her out of the car. They weren't loud. They were very calm, and I appreciated that because the children were kept calm and everything went well and went excellent.
Yeah, it was very well. They handled it quiet. They came up to the car quiet. They took a little while to take her out. They wanted to make sure the children were safe. The children didn't see her in handcuffs. Very respectful. Gotta give a shout out to them for that.
All right, so you guys pick her up. She thinks she's going to a safe space. You say, we got to get gas. Mm-hmm. So you guys pull in.
We had worked this all out before we had gone there. It was our signal. Yeah. You know, I was going to tell him, hey, listen, we need gas. And I told him, listen, she's going to tell me not to stop. Mm-hmm. And when the video comes out, you guys will see that she didn't want us to stop. You know, she was pointing out, look at that Ford and look at that. And she was right. Those were all undercover vehicles. And but there's a whole aspect to this. There's a whole other aspect. You know, there's the whole posting of the anonymous so-called videos. She had been posting for a week straight on his webpage, pictures and postings, and there's a whole other side that she was sending all kind of crazy messages to.
Let's go to her live stream because she's on the run. Mm-hmm. She goes live on her own Facebook, mm-hmm. and she tells a whole different story. So she tells a story that her kids were abused. DCF was trying to take her kids to an abused house, so she decided to take the kids and run. That's what I understand from her live stream, but it turns out to be completely false.
Yes.
So so obviously you guys, if you would have believed that, you wouldn't have done this, but you believe the opposite.
Right. What made me, like I said, once I got that interview with her, and I'm sure that will come out as well. We had a long discussion back and forth, and it was very evident to see the way she was behaving, the way she was talking. Something was wrong. She was desperate. She was willing to do anything to get what she wanted, and you know, I felt as though those child lives were in danger. At any moment, that woman would jump with anyone in any vehicle and go into any location with these children. One of them had autism. They needed medication. She had told me on that interview that I have recorded that the kids hadn't eaten in days. I don't know who she was shacking up with, but apparently they weren't feeding these children. They weren't bathing. I felt as though it was we had to do what we had to do, and I had no holds barred, and that's why I said what I had to do.
Well, she had a medical condition too. She had kidney failure and takes Percocet for that, right? So this is, in the end, is going to be better for her and the children.
I agree. She can get the help that she needs. And in my interview, I told her this is a roller coaster ride, and eventually this ride is going to come to an end, and you need to prepare for that.
So Carol Tinkman says no one knows the true story. That's not true, Carol. Carlos has a lot of interviews recorded. She gave her side, but the husband, the father of these children, had full physical custody.
Yes.
She took a visitation. I talked to the police. The police said on July 24th, they started getting involved because she didn't return the kids to a visit that she had.
Yes.
And then on the 26th, you got involved, and the police were already involved trying to find these kids. So we posted it yesterday. There was a search for these kids, official police report. She does not have full physical custody. She put herself in a situation with a man she probably didn't know, or she might have known occasionally, and put her children at risk.
And I think a point that needs to be made, I'm not here to judge her, but the situation is those children, as a matter of fact, were in danger.
Absolutely.
No matter what her side was or what the father's side was, those children did not have food, didn't bathe. They obviously were not going to go to school. They weren't getting the medication they needed, so we had to act and get that done. And she needs to get the help that she needs as well. And when you hear this interview, she admits breaking crimes and admits that she probably deserves to get what she gets.
Yeah, and I didn't put the link to the actual background story from the police, but the details are in there. So she's a 29-year-old mother of 3, doesn't have full physical custody, has visitations with her kids. The police put out a report to actually find one of the kids, and then when she disappeared, they had a report for all 3. So it wasn't an Amber Alert out there. We're tracking that down. They say because of the Mass State Police, it didn't meet the state criteria for the state police. But because of these 2 here in front of you, these kids are back home. Carlos basically called me an hour before. I gave him a contact to the police, and an hour later, the police found the kids. And that was after 6-7 days. The police had nothing. So you guys actually worked with Lindsey, got her in the car, drove her to a gas station where the police were waiting, basically, and got the kid. And you go to the Neighborhood Watch share page, and he's got the live stream of when the police actually do apprehend the kids. Very gentle. Police seem to be very gentle. Got the kids out.
Excellent job.
She wasn't harmed. Kids weren't harmed. It actually went very well, right?
Very well. Yeah. And she needs to, if she has a side, she needs to fight it in court. She needs to prove it in court. You don't take your kids without medication, without food, with no money, with no plans, and drag them from house to house, from car to car. That's not right. So the best way she can handle it for herself is through the court system and show the proof. She gave us a bundle of paperwork like this that she says is proof, but I tried to tell her, listen, these are all copies, and that's one of the main reasons why she did agree to meet me, is because I needed to see, because she wanted her story out. I think that's why she agreed to the interview. She wanted her story out, and I told her I could help her with that, but she needs to get the help as well. The children need to be safe.
Yeah, you got a bunch of people saying great job, guys. Clearly it's all about the children, nothing really else on this. So we don't know anything about who this guy she was staying with. Did you guys see him? Or?
No, excuse me. I'm curious because, basically, was he harboring a fugitive? Was she considered a fugitive? No.
Well, yeah. Well, she has warrants.
So she'll be charged with
custodial kidnapping.
And this was, and I saw people going in and out of there. It's not like it was an abandoned building. This was an occupied home. There was a nice vehicle that pulled up with a family that came out. So I'm curious whether or not if it's just a boyfriend of hers or a family member, but they were harboring her, and there was an altercation before she left. She was assaulted, according to her. She was assaulted by a male there, because of her leaving. They were upset that she was leaving, and basically that's how she came with us, because she had no other choice. She felt cornered, and I'm glad she did, because now she can get the help. The kids are safe. You know what I mean? And you know, I'll tell you what. There were nights I couldn't sleep. You know, 2, 3 in the morning. He's like, I'm going home. I got responsibilities, and then here I am. I'm like, all right, see you later. And I stood up till 5, 6, 7 in the morning out there looking for the vehicle, and you know. And you know, because it really played on me, because I thought about my son and my situation. What if that was me? And Lindsey as well. I mean, she's obviously in need of help, and she's making some bad decisions. And the faster we could get her to help, the less bad decisions she would make. You know what I mean? So
we'll go back after this is done. We'll post the link to her video. You can see her side of the story. We'll share the Neighborhood Watch share page. We'll put that on the video of the guys, you know, getting the police there involved and all that. We'll put all the stuff out in a full disclosure, but follow ahead of time on our page, on the share page for the watch page, because you're going to see some more stuff Carl's can put together, more evidence. The police haven't asked you for any of that stuff, though, huh?
No, we haven't been reached by police. No, they didn't ask. They thanked us. The gentlemen that were there, they thanked us, shook our hands.
Plenty of times, a few times.
A few times. Job well done, very respectful. It was a good encounter. But besides that, no, there hasn't been any questioning. I did give them brief details when I set up the whole flushing out of Lindsey. So they have some details, but nothing major. I'm sure that they'll be listening and watching the videos as they come out.
Yeah, we'll follow the case, and I'm sure you guys will follow the case all the way through the court.
Oh yeah, definitely. And you know, and I want to see Lindsey do well as well. This isn't just you know.
She needs help.
She needs some help, and I'm confident that she can get that help, because you know, people make mistakes, people have issues, and I think there's enough resources out there. She can get the help she needs and deserves. I mean, she's a human being.
Yeah,
I agree.
All right, so this is Craig and Carlos, 2 guys that worked hard over the last week to help bring home 3 missing kids in New Bedford. It wasn't out there besides really on the Neighborhood Watch share page as far as the kids missing.
To finish.
Yeah, because there was no Amber Alert, and a lot of the media don't take this stuff seriously unless there's a real police report out there, Amber Alert, but he stepped up and got that information out there. So, all right, we're going to share that stuff in the comments after, and thanks a lot, guys.
No problem. Take care.